All right. So this thing is made by a company called Harken. We've had these for at least 6 years, or 5 or 6 years. All right. You can buy them in different sizes. I bought them on the Harken's website. It's basically a pulley system that goes along either the roof of your garage or whatever, and you have to fasten. I fastened that 2x4 to the ceiling joist up there. Fasten it with some carriage bolts. We keep the storage box on the ceiling of our garage. Now, granted, we have a fairly high ceiling. The ceiling's about, I'd say, 10 or 11 feet high. And in this part of the garage, it's probably 14 feet. And I have the same system to have they're not doing so great, but it keeps these plants alive over the winter. There's not that much natural sun in here besides these couple of windows. All right, so let me show you how it works. Now, you could buy these things in different sizes based on how high your ceiling is and how much weight you need it to carry.
Okay, so I didn't realize when I made this video how crummy the audio was on the camcorder, which is what I just used. But anyway, the bottom line is to lower it down. It's almost like window blinds. You kind of pull it to the side, and then you just gently, it kind of locks as it releases, so it can't go flying down. You kind of have to hold it at an angle in order for it to go down at all. So it's not going to drop to the floor. That's for sure. It drops maybe a few inches at a time, and you have to keep re-releasing it. So the mechanism is fantastic. Just saying.
You can lower it to the ground. These two little things come undone, and I take the box off. Now, could I have mounted it in a different orientation and driven the car in to the garage? Yeah, I probably could have done that. But it's easier for me to just take this off, to just take it off the car.
Usually what we do, my wife and I, is I lower it onto a moving dolly, which is about a 2-foot square with wheels on it. I wheel it out to the car in the driveway, and then my wife and I put it up onto the roof, and I get up there and I fasten it. I'm holding the video for a second so you could look and see how it's mounted to the ceiling. You need to make sure you have a stud finder so you know where the studs are. And you just need to screw the lag bolts in. You drill some pilot holes, and the instructions are self-explanatory, and it's a piece of cake, really.
While I have this down, might as well talk about this storage box by Yakima. It's fantastic. We've also had this for probably 5 or 6 years. It fits on all 3 of our SUV cars, whatever you want to call them. It's got a ton of room. So to open this, basically lower it down a little more than I did. Okay. So here's what this looks like. Now, we just got back from a ski trip not too long ago, so it might be dirty inside. But the key looks like this. Comes with 2 of them. And the lock is actually changeable. So if you break something, you can swap this out. So you give it a turn to the left, and then it pops open like this. And it's on a hinge. So there's plenty of room. You can open it a little further than that. It doesn't completely open. You can only open one side at a time. So it's got plenty of room. I mean, we put this on the top of our minivan. We have as long as it has crossbars. So on some cars, like on this Subaru Forester, this came standard. Okay, it came with a roof rack. We have also a Subaru Crosstrek that I had to buy these bars separately. It came with the front to back. It didn't come with the crossbars. On our Honda Odyssey, we bought the roof rack option. It came with the crossbars. So you need the crossbars. But it's simple. Fastening it is quite simple. You just adjust this front to back to fit, and it snaps. You just give it one of these, and it's locked. And you can put as much tension on as you want. So we'll just leave this opened. So to close this back up, I'll show you. To close it back up, I guess I have to do this with one hand. You just make sure nothing's in the way. And there are 3 points in here. 1, 2, 3. So when it closes out along the length of the whole thing. You snap it, and then you can see the handle is now horizontal again, and the key comes out. But you cannot remove the key while while it's opened. Okay, you can open either side. It's the Yakima Skybox. I'm not sure if they still make it, but it's not the most giant one, but it's not the smallest either. And it fits a ton of things. I mean, besides skis and boots and suitcases, we put a ton of stuff up there. So let me raise this back up so you can see how this works. Okay, first I'm going to connect these back up. One. To this side.
So this particular model has a 4-to-1 mechanical advantage. So in other words, for every 4 feet I pull on the rope, it goes up 1 foot. It also locks with every single pull. So if you see, you pull it and you can release your hands and it's not going to come falling back down. So it's actually heavy, but it's not that hard to do, and you easily do it all by yourself. And that's it. It's a great place to store one of these boxes. It's out of the way. Like I said, we have a high ceiling, but it's way out of the way, and it's readily accessible when we need it. So that's it. Thanks very much for watching, and I'm sorry about the audio, and leave any comments down below.